Hey guys, MaxLPQueen here, and welcome to another Gunner run through. So today we're going to be running through the Dark Reach Citadel, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know. I kept calling it the Dark Reach Cathedral this whole entire time, and then I was kind of looking on the questline sheet, and I was also looking on the guide or the little thing that popped up whenever you queue for the dungeon, and I noticed I don't think that's how cathedral is spelt, but then again, you know me. I don't know how to pronounce anything in this freaking game because apparently I can't even pronounce Anchorstone correct because people were angry at me because I didn't say Anchorstone, I said Archstone instead, and like, who cares, honestly, but whatever. I don't know how to pronounce things in this game, so if I say Citadel or Cathedral, you know, don't hang me or kill me for it or, you know, jump on me for it. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce things in this game. So, yeah. Is this registering or is this just making me sound like a complete weirdo? Probably the latter. But anyway, we decided to run through the Dark Reach Citadel dungeon because my good buddy Ming was like, hey, I'm going to carry you, of course, through all these dungeons, because if you need to get these quests done, then I'm going to help you get the quest done. So I decided to go ahead and do some fishing one day, and I was like, you know what, I found this person who's going to help me. So while I was in queue, I was doing some fishing, and then we decided to run around and go through the dungeons. I mean, cool. I can complete the quest line, and that'll make things way easier for me, so yeah, let's do it. So big props to Ming there. You'll see the Reaper on the party. That's the person helping me out there. Basically carrying me through all these dungeons. Pretty much. But I've got the Essential Mana Guide pulled up that I can run through with you guys, but like I've been saying in a lot of the previous recordings that I've done, unless this is going to be the first one, I don't know what order I'm going to be doing all these in, but yeah, if I explain it through Essential Mana, then I guess I can, but I'm also going to go ahead and post the Essential Mana guide in the description of all the videos so that you guys can have it to look through yourself, because I can read through it with you, or I can read through it and try to match up the mechanics to what I'm reading through it, but in the end, if it's not at the same time, you're probably going to be confused and not really know what to do. So what I've been trying to do is kind of just reading through like the key mechanics to kind of help you guys out with at least those. So this is the first boss, and it does say here that this is the same boss type as the second one in Broken Prison, or the one in the Guardian missions. There's electricity that'll surround the boss area, so you don't need to get hit by it. And there's also a gauge that will fill up to 100, and that will be covered in the key mechanics. So if you go to the website, they have normal attacks that he does. They also have special attacks, and then they have key mechanics, and they have a list of all the different things, which are very detailed. So it can definitely help you if you want to read through the mechanics, if you find that a little bit easier. For me personally, reading through it is not as helpful for me as actually doing the dungeon myself and learning the mechanics on my own. So I guess I'll just read about the gauge. It says the gauge is going to appear when he reaches 90%, and then 5 pillars activating across the room, much like in the RK9 hard mode. The gauge will slowly charge up to 100, and when it reaches 100, the pillars will spawn an orb below them, and then every member of the party needs to collect them. They touch, they don't need to hit it, and an orb, and then survive the incoming room-wide attack. So that's the main thing, I guess, that you want to watch out for. I realize I'm talking over the cutscene, but okay, fine, I'll be quiet now. I like how I decided to be quiet right at the moment that they're not talking anymore, so what does it even matter? And here we have this girl here again. She's still around. You might remember her from the RK9, or not RK9, the Red Refuge run through that we did. She's still lurking around. But like I said, I mean, I can read through them in the end. Is it really going to help you if you're not seeing it at the same time? And plus, since they're running me through and kind of carrying me through the dungeon, we kind of defeat the boss super quick, so it's kind of hard to get all the mechanics out before we actually defeat the boss. So if you go in with a big party that knows what they're doing, then you should be fine, honestly. And that's how I was through most of these run-throughs that I did. I was actually really okay. Everything that we did, if I died any or anything like that, they were right there healing me up. Either that or they kind of had it by themselves. They didn't really need me anyway. So if you don't know what you're doing in a dungeon, but you have a team that knows what they're doing, I think you'll be fine. Especially in this one, because I think this one is a little bit easier in terms of the progression as you're running through all these quests. Because I think this is the second one. No, actually, maybe it's the third one. I know you run through RK9 first, and then after RK9, I think you will be asked to run through, oh goodness, what is after that? I don't remember all the quest line like in direct order, but I know once you hit 65, golly, you just get bombarded with a ton of different quests. And you can do them in any order that you want, but once your gear gets higher up, you can do these higher level dungeons. So we're on the second boss now, Apetus, whatever your name is. So it's basically Pokemon in TERA. This boss can change itself either into grass, fire, or water type. Ooh, just like Pokemon. And he will do so by walking towards the corresponding books. You want to gain an element that is super effective against the boss's element. So see, if I would have known this before I even went into this dungeon, totally would have been A+ at this dungeon. Just saying, because I'm kind of somewhat of a Pokemon master. No, just kidding. But I do play a lot of Pokemon. So if you don't have an element that is super effective, then you're going to take more damage from everything else, of course. So you're going to also have a constant bleed on you as well. If you have a super effective one, you'll do a tiny bit more damage to the boss. So basically, if the boss is a fire type, you're going to want to get a water type. If he's a water type, you're going to want to get a grass type. If you're a grass type, you're going to get that fire type. You gain the opposing buff. All you have to do to gain it is just to gather around the books. And then someone has to hit it, and that'll give everyone in the area a buff. Not having this boss will make it hard to survive during the specific elemental mechanics, not having the buff, anyway. So you don't have to do it, but in order to do it, you know, it helps a little bit to get the different colors corresponding with the books. And like I said, I'm reading through this stuff with you, but as you can obviously see, we'd already defeated the boss anyway. So what good was it for me to do to read through that when you know, we already finished the boss? We're super OP, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, this team is amazing. Just not gonna lie, we're super OP. We know what we're doing, okay? Well, at least they do. I don't, but they do. And we've already made it to the third and final boss, Harnavog. Don't even ask. I have no idea. But we do have at least 35 seconds, I believe, to wait though, because we're waiting on, I think we're waiting on Apex for everybody else so that we can basically destroy this boss in like 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure this boss goes down super quick. But we have a cutscene anyway, so let's watch.
I command you, come forth!
Super powerful dragon incoming.
The time has come. The Federation dies tonight.
You know that's Elion's brother? I didn't even know that.
Wonderful, wonderful. You have done well. But the summoning is only the first step.
I mean, they do look kind of similar, but I just wouldn't put 2 and 2 together. Actually, I think after you defeat the boss, there's another cutscene afterwards with Elion, so it kind of explains it, because I didn't know that until the cutscene. I watched the cutscene and it said, he said something about brother, Elion, brother, you're my brother, and all this stuff, and Elion was like, don't even refer to me as your brother, because I'm not your brother, because you're evil and I'm not evil. You know, the whole good brother, bad brother situation. So here we are at the final boss. It says also to take note here that this boss can turn players into demons, and he will do a specific mechanic that people have to take turns taking. Getting the demon buff will increase your power, but reduce your defensive stats, and when you die, you will explode, doing a lot of damage to your entire party. How you become a demon will be covered in key mechanics, so if you read through the different mechanics for this dungeon on Essential Mana, like I said, then you're going to learn how to become a demon. But basically, you guys want to take turns at becoming the demon to, I guess, help out the party. And I think it actually says on the screen who becomes the demon, so when you do become one, it will actually say. So you don't have to worry about that part, because it does say that they're going to turn someone into a demon, and then that person will then, of course, be the demon. But we're already at 20% here, guys. So we're pretty much done with this dungeon. I mean, I could read through the mechanics all day long, but it doesn't really matter when you have such an overpowered team and you can just DPS till no tomorrow and defeat the boss within 2 seconds. Oh, and we do have a cutscene. Good. I didn't know if we were going to have one or not. Stupid Vanguard initiative thing popped up on the screen again. I don't like that. It won't go away unless you claim your reward. It's annoying. But that's it. That's the run through of the Dark Reach Citadel. Citadel? Whatever. Anyway, that's my run through. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed.